Even when I fall, even when I'm up, even when I'm down, you still love me. When I hurt you, when I pissed you, when I left you, you still there for me. Oh, you are everything to me. You offer me the kind of love I need. When the world turns its back on me, oh Lord, you are there.
Alright, listener, beautiful songs there for your listening pleasure. It's 9 o'clock, a few seconds to 9 o'clock. And up next is the program Good Morning Plateau here on Peace 90.5 FM stereo, Just City. And guess who is here again? Big PD is here to be your guide on the conversation, which of course promises to be very insightful, promises to be very informative and educative. So you can't afford not to be a part of the conversation. Please stay tuned and enjoy every bit of it, and ensure that when it's time, you would call in and be a part of the conversation. Please stay tuned and have a great day and a great time listening.
Peace FM 90.5 Jos. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of the program. This is Good Morning Plateau. Today being Friday, it is the last edition for the week. Thank you for joining us. My name is Pam Doyle. Today on the program, our attention is on the International Mother Language Day. The focus is on the importance of language in amplifying youth voices with the intention of unlocking youth potential through multilingual learning. It's with all privilege that I welcome to the studio Oluwapelumi Bankole, a translation consultant. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you, sir.
We also have Mr. Yusuf Habu Naango. He's a literacy and education consultant, advisor and literacy, and of course, as well as education domain of they are both from the Summer Institute of Linguistics, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Yes, empowering the youth to own their voices through multilingual education again is the focus of this conversation. Last year we had this program. We had this conversation. Because it's an international day that is being celebrated. Again, let me ask the question. I'll come to Pelumi before I come to we come to Mr. Yusuf. I'd love to know the difference between why is it let me get this straight now. They say sorry, I'm trying to check it out now. The importance, mother. Oh my God, sorry. I'm mixing it up. I need to open up some things to get it right. Okay, International Mother Language Day 2026. Mother language, mother tongue. What's the difference? I know it used to be, they say mother tongue.
Yeah.
So now we're saying we're celebrating Mother Language Day. What's the difference?
Mother tongue and mother language are basically referring to your first language.
Okay.
Yes.
So they mean the same thing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that brief. Yeah, straight to the point. Sort of. Let me come to Mr. Yusuf. So what is the theme for this year's International Mother Language Day and the significance of having such a theme?
Okay, thank you. The theme for this year, for the International Mother Language Day, it is Youth Voices on Multilingual Education, and is celebrated by the United Nations every year on the 21st of February. And we at Exile Nigeria, whose work is with the mother languages in Nigeria, we are celebrating it too this year, as every year that we do. In contextualizing it to Nigeria, we put it as amplifying youth voices through multilingual education in Nigeria. And so this is the theme for this year.
Interesting. Now you're saying multilingual education in Nigeria. Must it be like a curriculum? Still with you?
It's a system of teaching reading and writing, starting with the mother tongue.
Okay.
And that is why it's called multilingual, mother tongue-based multilingual education. That is, we start teaching learners to read and write in their mother tongue, and then gradually introduce either language of immediate environment or the national language. For example, in the north here, we have Hausa as a language of wider communication and English as our official or national language. So it's starting learners from their mother tongue. That is why it's called mother tongue-based multilingual education.
So what does it do? This multilingual education, what does it do? Will it be of any difference with what we have right now? Pelumi?
Yeah, it's going to make a big difference Multilingual education helps a child to learn his mother tongue is from to learn reading and writing in his first language, and then it also broadens their vocabulary. For instance, a child is able to learn as many languages as possible from age 0 to 7. So it broadens his vocabulary, like his mental dictionary has more words when he learns in his own language as well. But when he learns only in English, his mental dictionary only has a lesser number of words.
Which example would you want to give us to understand this better?
For example, my son attends a school in Jos that doesn't teach any mother tongue, that doesn't do any mother tongue education. They only do it in English. But I took it upon myself to speak the language to him, and also got him a teacher that would teach him Yoruba, for instance. And he started learning. At first, it led to identity crisis. He told me, "Mommy, I'm English. I'm not Yoruba." So, but now he has accepted the fact that he's Yoruba, and he is able to read in his mother tongue.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. But won't we have like a confusion now in our hands? Look at Plateau State, for instance. Check out the number of the languages we have on the plateau. So, if everybody would have to go it that way, will it not lead to confusion, Mr. Yusuf?
No, because we have example of even the European countries that we are copying. They started with the mother tongue system of education for their children. And it is all over the world. There are many countries that have more languages than Nigeria. For example, if you look at New Papua New Guinea, somewhere in Australia, they have hundreds of languages, and they are using it in their school system, and their children are thriving and transiting to their language of immediate environment and also their national language. So if countries that have 100, I guess in Plateau we don't have up to 100. I know it's around 50 something or thereabout languages. So it's not something that has not been done somewhere, and it has succeeded. It has succeeded in those countries. The same thing with India. So there are many examples of countries that have larger number of languages than we have in Nigeria. It's an issue of priority and implementation of policies.
Implementation of policies. That's where I'm going to take it from now. So when we say implementation of policies, who is in charge of drawing up this policy? And then the implementation, who is responsible for the enforcement? Do we actually have a policy on that right now? Pelumi?
Yes, right now, before now, there were policies like the one made in 2013. But right in last year, the Minister of Education announced that the language of instruction should be solely English. And that may not be helpful to our education system.
Why would that not be helpful? Can you?
One of the reasons is that our children will no longer read and write in our language. Number two, they may, just like my son, identify as English and leads to identity crisis. Number three is that many of our children speak our mother tongue, and they will not be able to connect what's going on in the classroom with their own reality, with the reality in their homes, the reality in their environment. So if you look at China, for instance, many of their things, even technology, talk about science, everything is in their language. And you see how they excel. They excel in terms of technology. They produce a lot of things because everything comes from their hearts.
All right. Yeah, but well, in China, what they speak is they call it Mandarin.
Yes, Mandarin.
That's their own lingua franca, so to say. But then there are other languages too that are part of the Chinese society. All right. Now, if the minister has said the mode of communication in our school should be English, and you feel differently, then what then is your body doing to see that a rethink is done concerning that?
Right. Implementation has always been the problem. And because it was not well implemented, there are many things that will lead to the success of multilingual education. The production of the materials, the training of the teachers to connect with the materials and teach it well, and many other things surrounding that. So we are making voices out to know that it has worked in other countries. In fact, even in Nigeria, people that have a test of it in the 70s and even before then in their mother tongue, when education was new, excel. For example, there are several communication that people like Wole Soyinka, Chinua Achebe have emphasized. What they have written that have gone global has to do with their background in the good command of their languages. And we can see that has happened and it has succeeded. So one thing we need to be doing, and what we are doing as an organization, is continue to promote what we believe will work for Nigeria and what has worked in other countries, because it is proven. For example, here in Nigeria, we have a good example in Rivers State, a language that is called Obolo. And it's a community-owned school that was established, and the children were taught basically from primary 1 to 6 in their mother tongue, Obolo. And when the research was done to compare it with other schools, they perform 29% above other schools. So what we are doing is to bring out all this information and continue to promote it and pilot test so that it can be proved that, yes, this thing can work. It has worked somewhere. It has worked in Nigeria, only that it has been abandoned basically because of lack of implementation and the driving wheel to make it happen. So those are the things that we are doing, promoting it, piloting it in different communities in Nigeria to prove how it can be effectively go right.
But how can we have it run side by side, our mother tongue and the globalized world that concerns Nigeria, which of course is English speaking? How can we ensure that there is no clash? How can we ensure that if we adopt this mother tongue policy, we will not be able to erode this other part, since I'm not sure our languages in Nigeria are classified as one that can be learned across the world. So if I'm going to speak, say, Birom, I'm a Birom speaker, I'm going to speak just Birom, can I have a presence when I leave Plateau State, not even Nigeria? Can I have a presence when I leave Plateau State? So how can we be able to juxtapose so that we're not left behind, we're not left from global trend? Pelumi.
Yes. That's why we are talking about multilingual education, where we are talking about when a child is Birom or is Yoruba or is Ngas, and that child is given the privilege, the opportunity to be a multilingual. He has access to English, to Hausa, and to Birom or Ngas. But he learns his language, he learns to read, and that's where we also talk about the strategy. Where the strategy fails, that's when maybe, for instance, you started a child off in Ngas up to primary 3, and you not translate the child into reading and writing in English. then you get into a problem. The same way, when a child starts off with English and does not know anything about his language, then there is also a problem. So the strategy is actually the issue. Our languages are not the problems, but the strategy we use is the issue right now.
But give us an example of the strategy adopted by some that worked, and then we are like lazy about here that we think it won't work. Basically, in your introduction, you said it all, and I've heard that said too. People who are taught in their mother tongues actually do perform better than those who come with a borrowed language. So give us an example of the strategy adopted by places where it has worked, okay, and what's hampering it here from working.
Okay. The basic strategy is the policy, starting with the policy. Once a policy has been drafted and been approved as the document that is going to be used, it has to be followed. And so what has happened in many of these countries, what the professionals, the educators, the researchers have come together and put as a document to guide their national language policy of education, they strictly follow it. So for us, we feel that key things that have happened is that we assume that because our languages are either minority or looking at population, so we look at it as if, no, let's go with the bigger ones. But they are using it to teach their own children reading and writing is a skill. And so because they master the skill and they thrive. So we are copying them, but not knowing that they are using their own languages to thrive, whereas we deprive our own children that opportunity. So for it to work, we have to ourselves understand that reading and writing, like we said, is a skill. And as children are learning, they need to master the skills in the environment and context that they are very familiar with. If you transfer just something you see in Western world, the items, the things that are there, and want to force it on your children that have not seen it, that have not touched it, and you are trying to teach them a new skill, you have to teach somebody one thing at a time. That's the principle of education, and that is what needs to be enforced. So the policy has to be there, and we need to make it work by even conscientizing ourselves, particularly parents and people that have not yet seen the importance of those things, particularly seeing the materials. And that is why we in SIL, we promote the production of literature in the language. People need to know that they can write things in their languages, and those things can go a long way to educate their own people. So we are promoting that. We give technical support and guidance to different languages. For example, here in Plateau, there is a movement by an organization to implement with the SUBEC on teaching reading and writing in the mother tongue. And our organization have been giving them technical support in making that to happen. We trust that very soon these languages will come on board to implement it, and the result will speak for itself, because that is what we believe, that if people see how it's successful and its children after that thrive, that will give it an acceptance.
Let me ask this question. What is the right time and the right way?
Now is the time. We can't wait any longer. And the right way is for us to embrace mother language education, a multilingual education, and encourage it in our schools, among our people. And we shouldn't look down on our language. Now is the time.
Usually, curriculum is championed by the government through the Ministry of Education. Whatever drive you want to come up with, whatever policy you want to initiate and, of course, get to be implemented, has to be done through the Ministry of Education. So, what is your relationship with the Ministry of Education? I mean, SIL, if I'm not wrong, that's the Summer Institute for Linguistics of Linguistics. So, what's your relationship with the ministry in this direction?
Okay, right. Like I mentioned earlier, we give technical support on implementing this multilingual education. Like I said, there is an organization working in Plateau with 6 Plateau languages, and the SUBEC in Plateau here have a DEX officer for implementing and working towards seeing the success of this project. So we are giving technical support in terms of the production of the materials, the instructional material. I'll give you an example. Currently, the Gomai language, we working with them to complete their second basic primer. They have already done the first one, so they are currently completing the second basic primer, which will be used as the instructional material in the language. And we also give encouragement with other languages outside Plateau, particularly starting in the communities. We are doing training for literacy coordinators that can help in mobilizing and promoting mother tongue literacy in their languages. And indirectly, many languages are coming up to say, hey, we want to try this also in our schools. And so directly and indirectly, we are connecting with the government, indirectly through the communities, and directly in working with SUBEC in implementing this project here in Plateau.
What is the role of the traditional institution in all of this, Pelumi?
Yeah, the role of the traditional institution cannot be overlooked. It's very, very important in encouraging people in their communities to read and write in the language. And when a traditional institution, when a traditional ruler speaks, people respond, people respect them. So if they are open, if they embrace this, it will go a long way to help in the implementation.
Okay, well, interesting. Listener, this morning on the program, Good Morning Plateau, the focus is on the importance of language in amplifying youth voices with the intention of unlocking youth potential through multilingual learning. Now, the catch, of course, is the youth. Why the youth? Why not old people like me and you? Why the youth? Why the focus on the youth?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. The youth use technology. The youth are social media savvy. The youth are the strength of a nation. So when the youth speak out, for instance, I know youth who are using Yoruba to teach technology on social media. They are using Yoruba to teach documentaries, animal documentaries on social media. The same way, if Birom youth will arise to learn Birom, if Ungas youth will arise to learn Ungas and learn how to read and write and put it all over social media and speak to their friends, and they are proud of their languages and tell their friends, tell their neighborhood about it. And not only that, Nigerian youth are now having a very high population, and so we think the youth will go a long way in helping to promote this idea.
Interesting. You want to add to that what she said?
Yeah, she have said the youth are quite the driving force of implementing anything that they already catch in their hearts. So we believe that once the youth accept and see it and promote it, with digitalization now, they can go a long way to make it happen. And that is why we're focusing on their voices to be heard, to promote this and make it something that will happen. We're in the digital world. People use technology a lot, and especially the youth. So that is a driving force that we are using to make sure that their voices are heard through that.
Interesting. Yes, you cannot play down on the role of the ICT because that is where you have the minds now of the younger ones 24/7. They are either having their phones with them or systems around them. And thank God you are capitalizing on that to see the importance of having that drive to through the internet. All right, let's see. Okay, but then if you have to make an overview of this conversation this morning, what we have said so far, what will it be? This campaign of the International Language or Mother Language Day, the significance, take us through again. Someone's just joining. Why should we really celebrate or have this day being celebrated in the world? Let me come to you, Pelumi.
My language is my identity, and I should not be ashamed of my identity. I should be proud of my language. If I am Birom, then let me be proud of my language. Let me speak it to my children. Let me teach them to read, encourage them to read and write Birom, for instance.
Be proud of your language. Your language is your identity. Yes, that's the only way you can be able to express yourself. The best way to express yourself is via your mother language. All right, listener, this is Good Morning Plateau. On the program this morning, we are looking at the International Mother Language Day 2026, and it's been worthwhile having the guest in the studio, beginning with Oluwapelumi Bankole, a translation consultant, and Yusuf Habu Angu, literacy and education consultant, advisor and literacy and education domain at SIL. That's the Summer Institute of Linguistics, Nigeria. The focus, of course, has been on empower the youth to own their voices through multilingual education. That's so far on the conversation. Let's take a break. When we come back, we would get you, the listener, to be a part of the conversation through a dedicated phone line. Please don't go away, because we shall be right back. All right, welcome back. This is Good Morning Plateau on Peace FM 90.5 Jos. This morning we're looking at the International Mother Language Day. with the focus on the importance of language in amplifying youth voices with the intention of unlocking youth potential through multilingual learning. In the studio, I've had the pleasure of having this conversation with Oluwapelumi Bankole, a translation consultant, and Yusuf Habu Naango, literacy and education consultant, advisor and literacy and education domain of SIL Nigeria. Before we get the listener to be part of this conversation, you must have outlined some events to commemorate this day, which will be tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, the 21st of February. Take us through the events you have lined up to commemorate the day.
Yeah, tomorrow we are going to be at Old Airport. We are going to be taking a walk. We have a walk rally tomorrow at Old Airport starting from 8 o'clock. And we'll be walking down to Secretariat Junction, celebrating our languages, taking a walk for promotion of mother tongue, of mother languages. And we will be happy to see you there. And we have a T-shirt for it, which says, "Your language, na your roots."
Your language, na your root. Old Airport to Secretariat Junction. Who is invited to be a part of that walk?
Everyone.
Okay.
Come along.
Everyone is invited to come along. Any other activities after that?
Yes, we also want to use the opportunity at the Secretariat Junction tomorrow. After walking to that location, there's going to be a lot of activities going on there. In addition to what she mentioned, there will be a children reading demonstration show of multilingual education. Some selected children from different languages are going to read in 3 languages to demonstrate that children can really do this. So they'll read first in their mother tongue, then in Hausa as a language of wider communication. Then they will also read in English, which is the national language. So be part of that by coming to witness this event as we demonstrate that multilingual education, children can really do it.
If I heard you well, you said that also will be at the Secretariat.
At the Secretariat.
The roundabout.
At the roundabout.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So we're going to have an event, a big event there at the Secretariat roundabout. That's Secretariat Junction, right? Yeah, Secretariat Junction roundabout. Okay, interesting. Wow, can't wait to be a part of what will be going down tomorrow. All right, it's that time for the listener to also have a say on the program. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, please.
It's Radio Mama, Adauno, calling from Rentia.
Adauno.
Your guests have done justice to this topic. Let me tell you something. I was taken aback when the Ministry of Education, that's the Ministry of Education, did a policy from our sons, saying that the children will be taught with the vernacular, that's the language of the immediate environment. Who does that? It's only in Nigeria. I've never heard of such a thing before. Language is our identity, you know. So how can you now get children from learning it? They're saying that that's why they are not fluent in English and what are they? They're always looking for passing the buck. The truth of the matter is that we don't have enough teachers and we don't have the facilities to even teach these pupils or students. And sometimes some of the teachers don't even have a mastery of the English language. That is verified. A child between the ages of, let me say, between 1 and 5 years old, can learn 4 languages at the same time, plus English. And parents should be careful. This idea of, even people from the north are even better off than Igbos of my own tribe. You know, this idea of speaking English in the home. Speak the vernacular in the home. The vernacular, the mother tongue is better learned in the home, not necessarily a textbook learning. It's not as if you will not learn in the textbook, but it's better. It's natural. It's natural when you learn it right from the home, you know. And then some people now say that if they speak the vernacular in the home, that it will affect them in school. It's not true. They can learn 4 languages plus English, you know. So we should stop that nonsense. Look at other countries. They teach in their languages, and even if they want to adopt another language, they adopt it, but they must have their own language. The way it is going now in Nigeria, very soon, most languages will just go into extinction, especially the different dialects. Like in the north now, the major one is the Hausa itself, the language. If you're not careful, the dialects, even within the Plateau, some of them will just be dying, just like that, going into extinction. We should stop that, honestly. All the same, let's not give Nigeria.
Thank you, Adao Nogu, for your contribution. We should be intentional about it. That a child from 1 to 4 has the capacity to learn 4 or 5 languages.
Yeah,
wow,
as many as possible.
So we're not grabbing that opportunity to do the needful. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, I'm Joseph.
Hello.
My name is Isaac. I'm calling it from Joseph.
Okay, Isaac, the line is breaking though. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to really concur with all what has been said, talking about a language. You see, in a scenario, we have some literatures in some languages that have been developed already. We have the Bible, some have the New Testament, some are working on the Old Testament. But the most unfortunate thing is that when you go to some languages, some churches that are predominantly in those languages, I hardly see them read those literatures in the church. How can we learn those languages? Then I want to take, for example, I want to cite an example of the Yoruba. I went to Lagos, and if you go to Lagos, the predominant language there is the Yoruba. Is either you understand the Yoruba language, English language. You have no means of communication there. And again, if you go to the Yoruba-speaking churches, you see that they use the language strictly in the church. So why are other languages finding it difficult to adopt that? Then I want to talk about the mother. You know, it is always said that the mother is the first teacher to a child. The most unfortunate thing is that most of our mothers don't speak their mother language to their children. How would they learn it? So something must be done about it. There should be an aggressive awareness other than this talk show on radio. There should be workshops, training to equip those youth with these tools. Thank you very much. Do have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Isaac Itse, for your contribution on the program. Yes, even the literatures we have in the languages are not being utilized. That's what he's saying. Give an example with southwest Nigeria, where when you go to worship places, they use those literatures as means of teaching the people. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Habu presenter and the guests in the studio.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Thank you. I'm Musa Ike Carlo, calling you from Angorogo.
Go ahead.
You see, my brother, when we talk of artificial colonization, that is what we are just into. Watch all these Chinas and Indians that get to us in Nigeria. They hardly speak English or any other thing fluently. Some of them, they bring typewriter and all these things. These are people who really want to showcase where they are coming from. But in this part of the world, it has been stopped in our mind that if you are not an English-speaking type, you have nothing to offer in as far as nation building is concerned. Even our media practitioners have turned into content creation. Today, tell me any single person in Nigeria that if he makes a mistake in mother tongue, and it will be an issue of concern in Nigeria. But if you make a mistake in English language, even our media and all these things, we're playing caricature of you. As if once you don't speak English, you have nothing to do. These are where we are getting all these things from. You heard what Radio Mama has said. It's on my mind. The government that's supposed to promote it are the one even banishing it. Who has done this to us? Look at India when they got to their independence. They sat down and find a way to find a for their head. Does it mean even our legislators, even in the southern or in the northern and any other thing, where all these languages are, you cannot sit in the legislation of here and use your own local dialect? We have gotten it wrong. This colonization, we must be able to tackle it right from the beginning. We have chosen the wrong way, my brother. You can see somebody speaking France, this and that. All your problem is to go and get a certificate that you cannot defend in the public. Go and see somebody who is preparing a whole and all these things in dialect and all this. You take him not to be anything. You see, we have gotten things wrong, my brother. We must get back to our roots. Thank you.
Artificial colonization. That's what we've adopted and put on ourselves. No wonder some people are known for some serious grammatical arrangement when they speak, even more than what the English people would. I don't want to mention name, right? So let's hear from this caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Timnan calling from Rio.
Timnan Zauri from Riyom. Go ahead.
In fact, this is a very good topic. We cannot forget our root. Like the other speaker have said, in Nigeria we are very, very funny kind of people. Any mistake made in English, people will laugh at you. But whenever we make mistake in your dialect, people don't even bother to know. The issue of China came into my mind. These people, they are using their language and they are, in fact, the fastest growing nation in terms of economy. I think we should encourage ourselves using our mother dialect. It's very, very important. I remember one of my uncles. He stayed in America with his family. They came back last time home. They didn't know we were speaking Tarok. I was so very, very surprised. That's how the things are going to be. So I think we should take this very message to every corner of this nation, that you cannot relegate your language to the background. And especially encourage the reverends and other people to use our dialect whenever they are anchoring programs or preaching in the church. It goes a long way in encouraging us to know that we are who we are. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Timnan Zauri from Riyom there for your contribution. We can't relegate our language to the background. Yes, kudos must be given to the Tarok people. Yes, they stand out, you know. So, yes, we must say kudos to the Tarok speaking people of Plateau State. Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, our guest in the studio.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Emeka, calling you from Bankole,
Emeka Bajinkogi. Go ahead.
I am a Basque language. We are very, very happy. We are having our Bible and our ABCD in our language. So I appreciate our language that they are trying to teach us our language. So I want to appreciate you in the studio. I am very, very happy. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. All right. You're calling to commend your language, as saying you're taught in your language. You're commending that effort. Great one there from Emeka in Bakinkogi. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Pampel.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
And good morning, the two guests in the studio.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I am Gorzo Kopdi Kwafu calling from Paisi.
Go ahead, Gorzo Kopdi.
Thank you, Mr. Pamduel. Honestly, the two guests have spoken very well about the International Modern Language Day. And the importance of modern language cannot be overemphasized. Our language is our identity. I'm appealing to the government to include the modern language into our school curriculum. But my most concern is that some of our parents prefer to teach their children either Hausa or language or English language, which is very worrisome. Honestly, if you don't know where you are coming from, then you don't know where you are going to. Nigeria should embrace from China where China use their language to promote their product. We are good in making policy, but the problem is the implementation. Plateau State should use the 54 languages to promote unity, peace, and harmony. And many people cannot differentiate within the mother language and the mother tongue, which is also the same. Our language has been abundant. We prefer the Western languages, which we need to change our mindset. We should use the multilingual to catch them young. Honestly, we should try to adopt our language and our mother tongue so that we can get it right. I'm appealing to the Ministry of Education to look inward through the multilingual education. The traditional rulers, the community leaders, and the parents have a vital role to play to promote the mother language and the mother tongue. Honestly, the youth should be proud of their language. But my question to the students is that, honestly, what I want to know I want to know the place of artificial intelligence in terms of our language. I want you to clarify me on that. That's my own opinion, Mr. Palm, and the two guests in the studio. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Gorozo Kopdi from Pangshin, for your contribution. All right, straight up. Let's take on responses from what the callers have said. Let me come to you, Yusuf. You've heard them. Take it from what you've heard the caller say.
Okay, thank you, and thank you all our people that called. It's very encouraging to hear positive. Nobody said like, no, we don't want to hear something to do with teaching, reading and writing in our mother tongue, speaking it. So it's quite encouraging. One thing I picked, many mention about having the Bible in their own languages and other literature, and they are not using it. So for us in SIL Nigeria, one of our vision is seeing the usage of the well-translated scripture. That's our vision, usage of it. So, and it will not happen by itself. So churches, individual, we have to be deliberate. And how can we do that? For us in SIL, for the Bible that have been translated, currently we have a scripture use engagement. So we are going to encourage people to use their Bibles that have been translated in their services and all other occasions that they have. That will demonstrate and also make them to promote the usage, because it has to start somewhere. Without them using it, there's no way that people can see that it's valuable and also is useful. So using it has to do with the change of mindset. Like many of the callers have said, we have so far been thinking in a different way, that unless you speak the English, that is when people will feel that you are somebody. But your mother language is a pride, is your identity, and we need to use it. And also for clarity, many of the English and the Hausa that have been read in the churches, many people is either second or even third language. So the comprehension, the understanding is not there. So I'll encourage our clergies and other people in the church to utilize the available literature to teach for understanding and clear communication, so that the word can speak to the people in their heart language. Your mother tongue language is your heart language, and there's understanding.
Pelumi.
Yeah, I want to appreciate everyone that have called their contributions. It's very encouraging. And I also like to answer the question, what's the role of artificial intelligence in the use of our languages? Right now, for artificial intelligence to work, then you have to have a high load of that particular language on the internet or whatsoever. And then recently I did a research where I asked artificial intelligence to give an advice, a marriage advice to a young Yoruba girl, and the artificial intelligence should act as the old woman. And Yoruba has a lot of documentations online, and yet artificial intelligence could not really act as a Yoruba woman, because some marriage is not a bed of roses. It's not part of my culture. That's not a saying from my culture. That's from the English. English has enough to be able to do that. Then I asked artificial intelligence to do something for a language in Kaduna State, and it told me that it cannot do that. So we can see that our languages, especially the languages on the plateau, languages in the north, are resident in us, and we are the ones to pass it on to our children. Artificial intelligence may not be able to do that right now until we continue to read and write, until our youth are empowered to put it online, to put a lot of works from our culture, from our language online. That's when artificial intelligence can draw on from that and then bring out something. But I still know that human beings are more intelligent than artificial intelligence.
Oh, well, to this world, they would doubt that. They would doubt that because with the click of the button, you get so much. Yes, though yes, the humans fed the system, but then the machine space is something else. If you go with technological drive is driven today by AI. So we should also use that opportunity as a people. I think it will serve us more. Mr. Nangu, what do you say about that?
Right. For AI, I think is what we fit into the system that it brings out. Yeah. So we have to work on our own, produce a lot of literature in our languages, and then send it out there into the internet so that it can continue to build what can help in our societies. So it's what we build in our languages. Interestingly, anything that we write in our languages now, there is an app, a Bloom library that is available that you can go there, search for your language, and drop whatever you write there, and it can build up literature in our languages. So it's available. It's a free software that you can use. So technology, yes, is driving it, but it's people that will impute into it. So your language cannot go into the internet, cannot build AI by itself. You have to develop the literature and put it there for AI to use it and bring out information that can help.
Yes, but with AI today, it is done better. It is easier. It is easily accessible. I do not have to go to, say, Ife to have access to the core Yoruba culture to learn from there. But from the comfort of my room, I could use the AI to learn about these things. So basically what I think we should be talking about is how to fund projects like that to see that we use the AI to better the cause of pushing this drive of mother language to the youth. Would have to bring this conversation to a close. What would be your final word on the program? Let me begin with Pelumi before I come to Mr. Nangu.
Yeah, my final word is that as parents, we have a responsibility. If every home speaks the language of the home, then we have an opportunity to drive our language into the future, to pass it on to the next generation.
International Mother Language Day is a United Nations set aside day 21st February of every year to celebrate languages, which shows that languages are very important. And God has given us these languages to use them. So for that, let us celebrate our languages. Join us tomorrow from Ole Airport to Secretariat Junction to celebrate our languages. Thank you.
That's right. You have the opportunity to do so tomorrow from the old airport. What time? Did you say the time?
8 o'clock.
8 a.m. And then the event will run from what time to what time? Everything?
To 11 o'clock.
Okay, 8 to 11, beginning with the walk from the old airport junction to the Secretariat Junction roundabout. All right, listener, you've heard it all on the conversation this morning on the program. Good morning, Plateau. I like to appreciate the presence of the guest in the studio this morning. Oluwapelumi Bankole, translation consultant. Thank you for your time with us this morning. Also to Yusuf Habu Naango, literacy and education consultant, advisor and literacy and education domain of SIL Nigeria. I'd like to say a very big thank you for your time with us this morning in the studio.
Thank you very much.
This program was made possible through the contributions of the executive producer, Rita Kacholompam, supervising producers, Esther Nasara and Hudungyang and Esther Nasara. We have the producer, Inga Samuel, co-producer, Titus Dates, the studio manager, Lawrence Danat. Engineer on duty, Alexander Azi. For ICT, we have Tekam Manasseh, as well as John Paulo. The DCA is Christy Malo. My name is Pam Doyle, saying thank you for your time. Good Morning Plateau will be back on your airwaves Monday morning, 9 a.m. to run the course of the week. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Yo yin yel wusu jam